Hi, I'm Nathan. I go by Peteparker, and every week I do comic book reviews because that's the rule at my house. If I want to keep buying them, I got to review them online. So this review is going to be for Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate Comics Spider-Man or whatever, number 159. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis and penciled by Mark Bagley, I believe. And so let's get into the story. If you've been following this, which I kind of jumped on in the last issue or so, the Sinister Six have come to Ultimate Spider-Man's house out in Queens to try to kill him eventually. And he's not there, and they just beat up Johnny Storm and Iceman, who were both just arriving back and didn't get the message not to be at the house, basically. And Spider-Man arrived on the scene at the last minute and quickly took out the Vulture in like one hit, and then asked who was next. Now, he was shot in the previous book too, in the side, and he's bleeding profusely and hurting really bad. So he's not at his A game, but he still was able to take out the Vulture right away, which showed that he wasn't playing around and he meant business. And he's ready to battle some more, I guess. So in this book, he continues to battle the Sinister Six there. Two of them are out, I think. We'll get to that in a minute, though. He ingeniously is facing off against Electro and Sandman and Kraven the Hunter all together at the same time. And what I thought was a brilliant maneuver, kicked over a fire hydrant and splashed them all with water, which electrocuted everybody else from being connected to Electro, and also put water all over the Sandman. So that made total sense. I thought that was very smart, a very smart move done by the character, obviously written by the writer. But then you think he's all done with everybody. He's telling the people, the bystanders, to call 911, that he needs some help. He doesn't have his mask on. They're all worried about him. And then the Vulture comes back and throws some bombs at him, which he totally forgot about. And Sandman's not completely out, and so they all start to attack him again. And somebody across the street, the neighbor of Peter Parker and Aunt May and all them, calls Aunt May to see if she was home, because this is all happening outside of her house. And she hears that Peter's in trouble outside of their house. And Aunt May flips around because she and Gwen Stacy were driving away from the house at the behest of Peter earlier on. He was trying to get everybody away from there. And so they make their way back, and just as Pete's about to get electrocuted by Electro the final time, he actually gets shot through the chest. So that's really amazing. And from being shot, he explodes more or less and takes out the rest of the bad guys at the same time. And it turns out to be the Aunt May's shooting people, which is a huge surprise, of course. And so everybody relaxes. They check on Iceman and Johnny Storm to make sure they're okay. The ambulance is on the way. Peter reunites with his family that came back, and he's in trouble, and they're upset about it, and everything seems to be calming down. They're just waiting for the ambulance to arrive. And just when all that happens, the Green Goblin wakes up from his earlier tussle. So this issue was very much like, that's taken care of. Oh crap, here it comes again. That's taken care of. Oh crap, here it comes again. And it is full of surprises and full of stuff you didn't see coming, and very smart moves in the choreography of the fight going on between 6 bad guys and this one injured Spider-Man at the same time. So needless to say, I really loved it. I've always loved Bendis and Bagley's working together on this series, and I collected the first 120 or so up until Bagley left. And them being together back to kind of finish out this idea or whatever is wonderful. It's really great. I have reservations and doubts about the death of Ultimate Spider-Man because they've been putting this logo thing on like 500 books for like 20 months now, it seems like. On every book that's related in the Ultimate Universe, all has that stuff going on, and nothing was really happening until now we're really getting into the seriousness, he could be dying at any moment here. I mean, obviously we know which issue. I think it's 66, 5 or 166, something like that. Maybe it's before that, where he actually dies. But it's coming up here pretty quick, and you can really feel the excitement being generated here. I mean, and some of these characters, I hate the Sinister Six in general. I hate the idea of them getting back together and trying it over and over and over when it obviously doesn't really work. But in this time, it works, and I really love the Green Goblin in this universe. I think it's way more awesome than the regular Green Goblin, and I've always been a fan of the differences there. So, obviously, I really like this book. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5 because it really surprised me again and again and again. And I'm going to try to write everywhere that this whole review is fully spoilerific. But if you didn't hear that, then I'm very sorry. You should be reading this anyway, and you should actually go back and read this because the art's great too. I mean, even if you know what's going to happen, it's still going to be an awesome read altogether. I mean, just this one issue by itself, and that doesn't happen very often. So there you go, 5 out of 5, Ultimate Spider-Man 159. I'm on board. I'm going to be reading the Death of Spider-Man apparently, and probably not in the Ultimates versus New Ultimates book, but definitely in this book to see how it turns out. So there you go. You can check out my other reviews on YouTube as Spidey207 and everywhere else as Pete Parker. Leave me questions or comments or anything, and I usually reply. I think I always reply. I try to help out in anywhere that I can, so if you have general comics questions, I can try to help you with that. Or if there's reviews you want to see, also, I'm willing to take some requests, as long as I have the book. You know, I might as well. I got a few of them, right? So there you go. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.